out swinging, and our first experience was with a single guy. And I was like, okay, this will be, not threatening or whatever. There's not going to be any female jealousy. And so we started out with him and then moved on to couples. And then eventually we just stopped seeing couples and then started seeing, or just having single guys join. And then that slowly progressed to, her going out and seeing guys alone. And
Yeah, that's about it.
So welcome to another episode of the Love Can't Wait podcast. I'm your host, Sharp Game. So like and share this video. So with that being said, any questions, any concerns, anybody would like me to bring on, easiest way to contact me is at renegademoney@gmail.com. Or just follow me on my Instagram. That's the easiest way to get in contact with me. You know what I'm saying? So anything you need help on, any type of info you like me to get at me, that's the easiest way. And my Instagram, that's, you can hit me directly on my Instagram. You know what I'm saying? That's the easiest way to get in contact with me. So with that being said, like, share, and leave me a 5-star review in iTunes or anywhere where you listen to the podcast. So with that being said, today I have a special guest. It's a couple. I'm gonna do something a little different today. When it comes to, chatting with people, talking to people, bringing people on. Because, I bring a lot of different people on. I try to be different. So my guest today is exactly that. They have a very unique relationship. They have a OnlyFans page. They've been doing it for couple years now. They've been together since almost, I think, like 10 years. And I've been following them on Twitter for about I would say about a year now. And I've been seeing what they've been doing on Twitter, and I just decided that I shot them a message and said, hey, why don't you let me interview you? And eventually we got to it and they said yes, and we made it happen. So today, they're going to share with me their relationship and the dynamics and how OnlyFans came about and how their relationship came about and how their relationship has evolved and their dynamics of their relationship and everything. So, hopefully you like the show and what they had to say, and maybe some of the stuff they say you can relate. So with that being said, my special guest today is Kim and Maxx. Welcome to the show. So where y'all from?
Well, I'm from Florida.
And I'm a bit of a nomad. I'm from everywhere, but I claim Northern Virginia, DC area.
Oh, nice. So how'd you get started online?
Online? So we started online Although, oddly enough, for me, it was when we entered the swinger lifestyle. We would just post pictures of ourselves and our activities, and it was really exciting for me to do that. I loved it, and then it just kind of progressed from there.
That's probably what, like 2012, 2011?
Yeah,
somewhere around there.
Oh man, that was a long time ago.
Long time.
yeah, it was. And then I think we kind of went to what was it, Chatterbait or something like that.
Yeah,
We were like,
yeah.
let's try this, and
Okay.
did that for a little bit.
Tried camming. That was kind of our like intro between camming and Tumblr. That was our introduction, get our feet wet, and then I don't know when we got involved with like Twitter and like full on.
When Tumblr went down.
Oh yeah, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did y'all even know to come online to post things like that? I mean, where did the idea come from?
So I mean, I didn't really know about it. So back, when Tumblr was big, I would follow stuff on Tumblr, and then one day she was like, let's post something, or she just posted something or something, and it just went from there. She posted one picture and then just started posting more, and then just it became a habit, and here we are.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because the reason why I ask people that, because some people, they don't like being online. They don't like videos. They don't like pictures. They don't want anything to do with being online. So I always ask questions like that.
Yeah, she's like super spontaneous, so it even caught me off guard. I was like, I couldn't believe she was doing that. I was like, you what? And I'm an open book, so I'll do whatever. But when she did that, I was like, oh, okay. And then she liked it, and I'm sure she liked the attention she got, so it just took off from there.
So how did you know that it was a such thing as a swinger lifestyle? How did you even know that? Because I didn't. Back in the day, I didn't.
Well, I knew just from watching porn, just seeing it in porns and stuff, and I thought it was really interesting, and I thought it was really cool, but I always kind of knew and felt that when I was in relationships, I would always kind of fantasize about like swinger lifestyle, and it was just something that I always felt was more natural. As for you, I don't.
Yeah, I had a little different experience.
Yeah.
So I researched it, and I was always drawn to it. And then I had a pretty close friend that was a swinger, and so he kind of like introduced me, and he did a lot of the work up front that most people have to find out. He taught that to me, so I kind of went in already knowing about it, and then I shared whatever knowledge I had with her, and it worked out.
Yeah, I didn't even know there was. I didn't know people would put a title on it. I knew that people were just doing their thing and living their life or whatever. And somebody explained to me. They said lifestyle. I said, "What's that?" And they explained to me what it was. And they started talking about being a swinger. I said, "What's that?" And they said, "Oh, we have two couples, and they'll, switch, partners or whatever." I said, "Oh, that's what being a swinger is." I said, "Oh, okay, whatever." Because I learned it. I've learned about people doing this when I was in the military, so I didn't really know I didn't know the terminology at the time. I'm like, "Oh, okay, that's what they call. Okay, whatever."
Yeah. It's pretty big in the military.
Yeah.
Too.
Oh shit!
Yeah. That's how I learned it from. But the first time I had an interaction with, it was a married guy, and he said, "Hey, it was kind of weird though." He was like, "Hey, my wife likes you." I said, "What? You're a weirdo, dude." And I kind of walked off.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Man, then, yeah, because I'm at the time I'm 21, and I ran into the same guy again like 3 months later, and same thing. He said, "Hey, I saw you a couple months ago. Yeah, my wife, she really likes you." I'm like, so what? What do you want me to do about that? He said, "I just want you to talk to her and get to know her." And that was my introduction right there. And things kind of took off from there.
And you just went in for it, huh? You just
Yeah.
Well, and we've had similar experiences, like her playing with people I know, or like my friends or guys I work with, and if they've never been exposed to that before, at first they're like, what? And they're like super uneasy about it. And they're like uncomfortable, like, I don't know. And like, there's been several that are just like, nah, I can't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, which is understandable, because if you're used to, the traditional relationship, at least in North America, that would be kind of weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand, because I thought it was weird when the married guy came to me when I was 21. So, I can understand why people would feel the way they would feel, initially.
Yeah. I don't know. I never had that feeling. Like, there's like a bit of awkwardness to it, but
yeah,
I was never that. I don't know. Maybe it's just who I am. I was never put off, but like.
Yeah, that's why I said it. It just felt so natural to me. Like I never felt weird about it, or.
Yeah, and I think another thing, it depends on how you were raised. Because I was raised, I have a Christian background, religious background. My parents were stone cold religious. So
a lot of different for me because I didn't have that side.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Yeah. So that makes a difference.
Mm-hmm.
That makes a big difference. If you haven't been raised like religiously, like your parents want like stone cold. You go to church every Sunday. You go to Bible study. If you haven't had that, I think you would be less awkward. Things wouldn't be so
you're more protected, and you have like I guess it's more conservative view on things.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
I get a lot of requests from guys who say their wives were brought up just really, with a lot of religious background, and they're trying to kind of get them to get into the lifestyle, and they're having problems. I'm like, well, that's how they were raised. It's going to be really hard to, change their mind, because that's their mindset.
Yeah. I don't think and I think it depends on the comfort level of the person they might be dealing with too. Yeah. Because I think sometimes you might be against the idea of doing something.
Mm-hmm.
But if you meet the right person, you might be like, oh, okay, maybe I could see myself doing it with him or her, even though I never really thought about the idea of doing it. It never really crossed my mind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. I mean, there's been things that we do and have done that at first I was like, no.
Oh yeah.
I could never do that. That just it like blows my mind, and then eventually I'm like, I want to try that.
Almost everything we've done started out with like a hard no, and then like it would slowly like, I'll think about it, and then it would, kind of move into like the dirty talk and whatnot, and then it would just, slowly progress, and
then I do it, and then I love it. Like, why didn't I do this before?
Yeah, that's when I learned this, like when I was in my 30s. No don't mean no forever.
Perfect. Work the neck, work the nipples, try back in 5 minutes.
Yeah. So what's your relationship dynamic? Do y'all like are y'all swingers, or do y'all meet singles or whatever? How did that come about?
So how did it come about?
Yeah.
Well,
now, like, why did y'all decide to become a couple? And
so initially she had no idea about like, my fantasies and stuff, and the whole cuckolding. She didn't even know what that was.
I didn't know.
Had no clue that was even a thing. And so we started out swinging, and our first experience was with a single guy. And I was like, okay, this will be, not threatening or whatever. There's not gonna be female jealousy. And so we started out with him, and then moved on to couples, and then eventually we just stopped seeing couples, and then started seeing, or just having single guys join. And then that slowly progressed to, her going out and seeing guys alone, and
yeah.
You what?
That's about it.
Yeah, so So you're strict. So you don't like, you strictly like guys.
I do like females.
Okay.
It's just couples are a lot more complicated. So, it's hard enough finding. She can barely stand me. So to find somebody else that we can bring in that she can also stand, that's 3 people. That's super hard. Now to get a 4th one and you add a female to the mix, so she's got to be attractive, to both of us. We both have to get along with her and, vibe with her. And the dude, it's so hard to make happen, and we don't force it. So if it doesn't work, it doesn't work.
Can't. Yeah, you can't. There's a lot of couples that I've met. They're looking for like the perfect couple. I said you're gonna have a hard time finding another couple. I said you're better off just looking for a single person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like it happens, but it's rare.
Yeah, it is rare, and that's kind of how it was for us. And I'm so selective in the people that I choose that it was just so hard to find the couple.
Yeah.
So we're just stopped doing that.
Yeah, it was. It's not something that we're against, but I prefer to see her with another guy over another girl, anyways. So it worked out for me.
Yeah.
Really?
It's not usually something we go looking for, but every once in a while something spontaneous will happen. We'll end up with a couple or something, but we don't ever look for it anymore. Right now it's just we look for single guys.
Yeah, because it's rare. It's rare. Yeah. So when did y'all decide to focus on X now?
On Twitter?
Yeah.
Twitter,
when Tumblr went down. So Tumblr, I don't know if you remember, it used to be really big and popular with basically the same thing Twitter does. Hot wives were on there, and there was just a big group.
Oh, okay.
And then they stopped allowing nudity.
Yeah, like nudity and anything sexually explicit.
Yeah, so then everyone said, well, we're moving over to Twitter. And I didn't like Twitter then, X. I didn't like it. It took me a long time to get used to it. But yeah, we moved over there. Kind of just took off.
Yeah. But did so I guess in the beginning it was did you collaborate with other people or what?
No. So in the beginning it was really just and I still don't really collab. I haven't collabed with many people. It's usually just people that we meet, and we play with, and they just so happen to, be down with filming and putting Threesome out there.
Okay.
So that is one thing we actually we look for when we're looking for a person, somebody who's okay with being, filmed and having, pictures of them out there, just so that, they can have fun, we can have fun, but then we can also use that, on X or whatever platform.
Okay, yeah, that's different because a lot of people, they, I see, they say I'm looking for open to collaborating or whatever. So y'all basically, the people, y'all meet people and you say, hey, you okay being on camera? And they say, okay, and okay, so that's a little different.
Yeah, she's done, like she said, done a couple collabs, but that's not something we go out looking for. If it, if it happens to happen, great. If not, it's no big deal.
Yeah, because I always, I see a lot of people that say in their profile they looking for collaborators, but does it actually work?
Yeah, it does work. It works for them, and it's great. But I just I don't really like collabing because I like to have a connection with the people.
Yeah.
I'm with, because it's part of the lifestyle. I'm not just doing it just to put it on film and put it out there. Like I enjoy it, and it's really get into it.
I feel like when you go chasing collabs or trying to do it for that reason, it turns more into work and it takes the fun out of it. So we try and keep it as organic as possible, and just it comes out natural that way. And I don't know, I feel it's more enjoyable. So
I would think if the goal is to collaborate with somebody, and if you meet them in person, let's say you might not like them, and and are you still gonna go through with the collab?
Yeah. Yeah, so I usually have I set up an interview with people, and I meet them and we have an interview, and most of the time I'm like, no, sorry, just because there's no connection there, and just like next.
Yeah. Man.
Which kind of sucks too, because I make it difficult for us to like.
But the good side of that is the ones that do make it through are, pretty solid dudes, and they're awesome guys. Like almost all of them, we become friends with, and we hang out, and we do end up playing most of the time, but it doesn't have to be that.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah, so they become friends too. So it's not just, hey, let's hook up.
Yeah.
Let's hook up and hang out. Kind of.
Yeah, I think it's best to build a relationship and you just go from there. I think that's the best way.
Yeah.
I think I could never see myself doing collabs like that. Never. Me personally, that would never work for me.
Yeah, I mean, you have to be in a certain mindset to do it.
Yeah.
You have to be want to go out there and make something of your brand, pretty much.
Yeah. And plus that would feel like work to me.
Yeah, and exactly, like once you turn it into work, like it's not as fun. I don't know. It takes some bit of the magic away from it,
It takes the fun out of like you said, it's work. Then it's not our lifestyle anymore.
Yeah.
It's just
yeah. So, did y'all have problems being on camera in the beginning? I mean, how was that?
No.
I think at first we would hide our faces.
Oh yeah, I did.
Yeah, that was like
that would blur.
Beginning.
Yeah.
And so I was in the military too, so I did it for my career. I was,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I didn't want to get like somebody notice me and then I get hemmed up. So that's why I did it. And then towards like the end of my career, I was just like, fuck it, I don't even care anymore. So yeah, probably like the last 5 years, I've had my face on there. But
yeah.
We just said if we're gonna do it, let's just do it. Like
I remember one day I'm just like, why am I doing this? Like
because like when I watch porn, when I see like I'm watching porn and I see a blurry face, it's just so distracting and it takes away from it.
Yeah.
And so we're just kind of like, if we're gonna do it, let's go all in. So
yeah. So do you ever? Or maybe they already know already. As far as your friends and family, do they know? Have they ever seen any? They know.
Yeah.
Okay.
So who's the first one to know?
I think my cousin.
Yeah. So
I think both our your brother.
My brother, and then I think my dad, and then your mom.
Yeah.
What was their response like?
Surprisingly, super chill about it. I mean, as chill as you can imagine.
Yeah, everyone was pretty cool about it. My mom was supportive and is supportive, but she's just kind of like hesitant about it. But she doesn't ever say anything rude. She's supportive of it. I was actually showing her some of my previews the other day for the first time, because she'd never really seen. Has seen pictures, but she'd never seen any videos. I'm like, do you want to see? Do you want to see what I do? And she's like, I don't, but I do, because I also really, really enjoy like editing the videos.
Yeah.
I really enjoy it, and she wanted to see what I do, and I'm like, okay. So I went through and tried to show her like the tamest ones. Yeah. And she was just like, oh.
It was worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of times when it comes to friends and family, I think what they're worried about is what people are going to say to them.
Yeah, well, I think so too. But then I also have brothers and sisters, and I'm the youngest, so they still, even though I'm almost 40, I'm still the baby.
Yeah.
I get looked at as the baby. So, my little sister,
Yep.
they're doing this stuff.
And I used to worry about that. Like the only people I cared about knowing was my family. I was like, oh, I don't want them to know. And then just like, I don't know. I guess the older I got, I'm just of the mindset where it's my life. I'm gonna live it. Like,
exactly.
If you don't agree with it, that's fine. You know, it's not your life. You don't have to live it. But
exactly. Yeah. I was telling somebody. I said, look, man, your family, they don't really care what you got going on, man.
Yeah.
They don't really care.
And it's not like we shove it in their faces or
exactly.
We do mess with my mom a lot about it.
like for example, like doing Thanksgiving. Look, they just, especially if you got to go to where they live at, especially if you move away from home. When you go home, they're like, oh, that's my little sister, that's my little brother. That's it. They don't care about what's going on on the internet. They don't care about that stuff. You know, it's just like people have told my sisters and brothers that, oh, he has a podcast and videos and all that stuff. And listen, he be talking about sex and relationship. They don't care about any of that stuff. Like my aunt is 75. She doesn't care about that stuff.
Yeah, and I think that we're more afraid or more cognizant of that, and we're worried about what it's going to be like or what they're going to say when, like you said, they don't care. So once you finally like break that down and it comes out and you start telling people and people know, you realize that they care less than you thought they did, if they care at all.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, at the end of the day, they're like, hey, that's my nephew, that's my cousin, that's my sister, that's my brother, and that's it. You know. And even if you because I was talking to a girl the other day, and she was saying that she told her, I think it was her sister about, cause she's a swinger, right? She told her sister about the guys she got on the side or whatever, and her sister was looking at her like, "Why are you telling me this?" I told her, I said, they don't care. They don't want to know. You just volunteered useless information, basically.
Yeah. And if they do want to know, they'll ask.
Yeah. You know. Yeah. So, I guess where do you? I mean, how far are you gonna go on Twitter? Are you gonna just keep going, or as is, or what?
I mean, I really don't have any. So I don't have any plans to change.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna go as far as it takes me, but I don't plan on changing anything to get to anywhere specific, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I guess like as long as people still watch the content, are still viewing it.
Yeah.
We'll still make it, but
you're gonna just continue to live your life and do videos. And
when we didn't have the Twitter, we were posting stuff, putting stuff up, and get like 2 views. 2 people would like it, and we still did it because it was just
it takes time.
We're exhibitionists too, so we just like to be watched and like to put our stuff out there. So
as long as we get 2 views, we're good. Might be up 2, but
yeah.
So if people wanted to follow you online, where would they go to?
They would go to kimberjacks.com.
What's your Kimber QOS?
Kimber QOS on Twitter. Yeah.
Kimber with 3 R's.
Yes, Kimber with 3 R's.
There you have it. Like, share this episode. Tell me what you think below. Until next time, we're out. Peace.